Hey everyone, Joe Weintraub here. You know, as a species, we humans are obsessed with breaking boundaries. We scaled the highest peaks, plumbed the depths of the oceans, and even ventured to the far corners of our own planet. But nothing compares to the ultimate frontier space. Today, we're strapping ourselves in for a wild ride through history. We're talking about the space race, that era of unprecedented rivalry between two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, each vying for cosmic dominance. Get ready to have your mind blown, because we're about to uncover 25 mind-blowing facts about this epic chapter in human history. Picture this. It's 1957, the height of the Cold War. Tensions between the US and the USSR are running higher than a rocket launch. And then, on October 4th, the Soviets did launch a rocket, one that carried Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite, into Earth's orbit. Now, Sputnik itself wasn't much to look at, just a 23-inch metal sphere with 4 radio antennas. But this little sphere, folks, this little sphere sent shockwaves across the globe. It wasn't just a satellite, it was a symbol of Soviet technological prowess, a beeping, orbiting testament to the potential of their science and engineering. If Sputnik was a shock, then Yuri Gagarin was a knockout punch. Just 4 years later, in 1961, this young Soviet cosmonaut became the first human to ever journey into the vacuum of space. Can you imagine that feeling? Strapped into the Vostok 1 spacecraft, Gagarin orbited our planet for 108 minutes, forever etching his name into the history books. His journey wasn't just about breaking free from Earth's gravity, it was about breaking free from the limitations of what we thought was possible. Now, the Americans weren't about to sit back and watch the Soviets run away with the space race. They poured resources and brainpower into their own space program, NASA, and set their sights on an even bolder goal, landing a man on the moon. And on July 20, 1969, the world held its breath as Neil Armstrong, commander of the Apollo 11 mission, took that historic first step onto the lunar surface. "That's one small step for man," he famously declared, "one giant leap for mankind." Before humans ever ventured into the cosmos, there were brave animal pioneers who paved the way. One such pioneer was Laika, a stray dog from the streets of Moscow. In 1957, just a month after Sputnik, Laika was launched into orbit aboard Sputnik 2. Now, Laika's journey, while groundbreaking, had a tragic end. She perished during the flight due to overheating, a sacrifice that sparked debates about the ethics of animal testing. But her story isn't just one of tragedy, it's a testament to the incredible sacrifices made in the name of exploration. The space race wasn't just about scientific curiosity, it was a high-stakes competition fueled by Cold War tensions. Both the US and the USSR saw space exploration as a way to demonstrate their technological superiority, and by extension the strength of their ideologies. It was a battle for the hearts and minds of people across the globe, a cosmic chess match played out on a grand stage. Every launch, every orbit, every milestone was a chance to score points in this global game of one-upmanship. The Apollo 11 moon landing wasn't just a scientific achievement, it was a cultural touchstone, a moment that unified people around the world in awe and wonder. Hundreds of millions tuned in to witness this historic event, their eyes glued to grainy television screens as Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin planted the American flag on the lunar surface. It was a moment that transcended politics and ideology, a testament to the boundless potential of human ingenuity and collaboration. While the Americans were focused on the moon, the Soviets were busy racking up their own impressive list of firsts. Their Vostok program, which launched Yuri Gagarin into history, was a testament to their early dominance in human spaceflight. From 1961 to 1963, the Vostok program completed 6 successful missions, sending the first human into space, the first woman into space, Valentina Tereshkova, and even achieving the first multi-person spaceflight. NASA's Mercury program might not have achieved the same early successes as the Soviet Vostok program, but it was a crucial stepping stone for the US space effort. From 1961 to 1963, the Mercury program conducted 6 manned spaceflights, proving that the US had the technological chops to send humans into space and return them safely to Earth. It was a crucial learning curve, paving the way for the more ambitious Gemini and Apollo programs. The Gemini program was NASA's bridge between the early Mercury missions and the moon landing. From 1964 to 1966, 10 manned Gemini missions helped NASA develop and refine the technologies and techniques needed for long-duration spaceflight. They conducted the first American spacewalk, achieved the first rendezvous and docking in space, and gathered valuable data on the effects of prolonged weightlessness on the human body. It was a crucial stepping stone on the path to the moon. To reach the moon, NASA needed a rocket like no other. Enter the Saturn V, a towering behemoth of a machine, standing over 363 feet tall, taller than the Statue of Liberty. This engineering marvel remains the most powerful rocket ever built, capable of generating a staggering 7.6 million pounds of thrust at liftoff. It was the Saturn V that carried all of the Apollo missions to the moon, its thunderous roar echoing across the Florida coast, signaling a new era in human exploration. While the US ultimately won the race to land humans on the moon, the Soviets achieved some impressive lunar firsts of their own. Their Luna program, active from 1958 to 1976, sent a series of robotic spacecraft to the moon, gathering valuable data and achieving several milestones. Luna 2 was the first spacecraft to reach the moon's surface, while Luna 9 made the first successful soft landing. Luna 10 became the first artificial satellite of the moon. After the Apollo program ended in 1972, NASA needed a new vehicle to transport astronauts to and from low Earth orbit. Enter the Space Shuttle, the world's first reusable spacecraft. From 1981 to 2011, 5 Space Shuttle orbiters, Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour, flew 135 missions, deploying satellites, conducting scientific research, and even helping to build the International Space Station. The Space Shuttle program was a testament to NASA's commitment to making spaceflight more routine and accessible. The International Space Station, or ISS, stands as a testament to what can be achieved when nations collaborate in the pursuit of a common goal. This orbiting laboratory, a joint project between the United States, Russia, Europe, Japan, and Canada, has been continuously occupied by astronauts and cosmonauts since the year 2000. The ISS serves as a platform for scientific research in a microgravity environment, allowing us to study everything from the effects of space on the human body to the behavior of fluids in zero gravity. In 1990, NASA launched the Hubble Space Telescope, an instrument that has revolutionized our understanding of the cosmos. Positioned high above the Earth's atmosphere, Hubble has captured breathtaking images of distant galaxies, nebulae, and star-forming regions, providing us with unprecedented views of the universe we inhabit. Hubble's discoveries have helped us to refine our estimates of the age of the universe, study the evolution of galaxies, and even detect the presence of supermassive black holes at the centers of galaxies. Since the 1970s, NASA has sent a series of robotic explorers to Mars, each mission building upon the discoveries of its predecessors. These rovers, including Sojourner, Spirit, Opportunity, Curiosity, and Perseverance, have traversed the Martian surface, collecting data, analyzing rocks, and searching for signs of past or present life. The Mars rovers have sent back stunning images of the red planet, revealing a world of towering volcanoes, vast canyons, and ancient riverbeds hinting at a potentially wetter and more hospitable past. Launched in 1977, the twin Voyager probes, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, embarked on a grand tour of the outer solar system, sending back stunning images and data from Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Now, over 4 decades later, these intrepid explorers are still going strong, venturing into interstellar space, carrying with them a golden record containing sounds and images of Earth, a message in a bottle for any extraterrestrial civilizations that might encounter them in the vastness of space. Founded by Elon Musk in 2002, SpaceX has emerged as a major player in the modern space race. With its reusable Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets, SpaceX has dramatically reduced the cost of launching payloads into orbit, making space more accessible to governments, businesses, and even private citizens. SpaceX is also developing Starship, a fully reusable spacecraft designed for interplanetary travel, with the ultimate goal of establishing a permanent human presence on Mars. The Soyuz program, a workhorse of the Soviet and later Russian space programs, has been ferrying astronauts and cosmonauts to and from space for over 5 decades. Since its first manned flight in 1967, the Soyuz spacecraft has become the most frequently used and reliable human spaceflight system in history. Even after the retirement of the US Space Shuttle, the Soyuz remained the sole means of transporting crews to and from the International Space Station for several years. Before the International Space Station there was Skylab, America's first space station. Launched in 1973, Skylab orbited Earth for 6 years, hosting 3 crews of astronauts who conducted a wide range of scientific experiments. They studied the effects of prolonged spaceflight on the human body, observed the Sun and Earth from orbit, and even conducted materials processing experiments in microgravity. The Mir space station, launched by the Soviet Union in 1986, was a testament to their endurance and expertise in long-duration spaceflight. Mir, which means peace or world in Russian, orbited Earth for 15 years, hosting cosmonauts and astronauts from various nations. It served as a platform for scientific research, international collaboration, and even hosted the first space tourist, Dennis Tito, in 2001. In 1975, at the height of the Cold War, a remarkable event took place, the Apollo-Soyuz test project. This joint mission between the US and the Soviet Union saw an American Apollo spacecraft dock with a Soviet Soyuz spacecraft in Earth orbit. The mission wasn't just about testing docking systems, it was a powerful symbol of détente, a thawing of relations between the two superpowers. The handshake in space between American astronaut Thomas Stafford and Soviet cosmonaut Alexei Leonov was broadcast around the world, offering a glimmer of hope during a time of geopolitical tension. The space race wasn't just about rockets and satellites, it was a catalyst for unprecedented technological innovation. The drive to outdo each other in space spurred the development of countless technologies that have since found their way into our everyday lives. From GPS navigation and satellite communication to memory foam and freeze-dried food, the legacy of the space race is all around us. The space race cannot be separated from its historical context, the Cold War. This geopolitical rivalry between the US and the Soviet Union, fueled by ideological differences and the threat of nuclear war, cast a long shadow over the world. The space race was in many ways a proxy war, a battle for hearts and minds played out in the celestial arena. Every launch, every milestone, every first, was seen as a victory not just for science but for the prevailing ideology. The space race, for all its complexities and contradictions, left an indelible mark on human history. It inspired generations of scientists, engineers, and dreamers, igniting a passion for exploration and discovery that continues to this day. The lessons learned during the space race, from international collaboration to the importance of STEM education, continue to shape our approach to space exploration and our understanding of our place in the cosmos. Today, the space race looks very different than it did during the Cold War. We're seeing the rise of private space companies, renewed interest in lunar exploration, and ambitious plans for human missions to Mars. The future of space exploration is no longer defined by national rivalries, but by international collaboration, commercial ventures, and the boundless curiosity of the human spirit. Who knows what wonders await us in the vast expanse of the cosmos? From Sputnik to the Space Shuttle, from Yuri Gagarin to Neil Armstrong, the space race was more than just a competition. It was a testament to the power of human ambition, ingenuity, and our unquenchable thirst to explore the unknown. It pushed us to our limits, challenged our assumptions, and ultimately, brought us closer together as citizens of Earth, united by our shared fascination with the cosmos. As we move forward into this new era of space exploration, let us remember the lessons of the past, the spirit of collaboration, and the importance of pushing beyond the boundaries of what we think is possible. Because out there, beyond the horizon, lies a universe waiting to be discovered. For more epic stories from history, subscribe to History in Motion.